Okay, so today is my 23rd day of my weight loss journey. And as you saw in my video yesterday, I didn't lose any weight this week and I actually put on a pound. So I was really kind of down this weekend. I mean, the old me, as I said in my video last night, the old me would have just said, okay, I did all this hard work for nothing, so why bother? Well, now that I'm not affected by that addiction to sugar and flour, I know why bother. Because I want to change. I don't want to live the rest of my life. I mean, the rest of my shortened life being 100 pounds overweight. Well, I'm not 100 pounds overweight anymore. I am 96 pounds overweight, but that's going to reverse itself if I don't continue my efforts. Um, And because I have high blood sugar, if I don't continue to work on my weight loss, it's going to go into diabetes. And then what kind of life is that going to be? I mean, what's going to happen first? A stroke, a heart attack, my toes get cut off, my kidneys fail. Um, what kind of life is that? Studies have shown that type 2 diabetes is pretty much reversible. And if you have prediabetes, as I do, you cannot get it at all. But it's going to take work. This is a real turning point, and I decided to make the right decision because all these years, as I said, my weight loss is stubborn. So those of you out there that say it's almost impossible to lose weight, it's not. That's why I'm making these videos, because if I can do it with all the decks stacked against me, um, I really think anybody can do it. And I think the first step is getting over this addiction to sugar. And gluten's probably not the hottest idea. I don't want to keep repeating it in every video, but I just had shoulder surgery. It's hard to see because of the glare, my incisions. So exercise can't really be a part of my journey right now because I'm restricted from going to the gym. Um, you know, Somebody might think, well, I can walk. Well, guess what? I can't really, because even just going to the grocery store, just the jarring on my shoulder, every step is painful because I not only had a completely ruptured rotator cuff, but I had a really huge bone spur that was difficult for the surgeon to shave off. I mean, he said it was a monster bone spur, so I believe it because I had some serious pain. But it hurts. My shoulder joint hurts. So, it's a pretty low point in my life. And I just decided, what's it going to be? Am I going to keep getting sicker and more injured and more disabled? Or am I going to start getting better? And I take care of my mom, who's 87, who's walker dependent. And I mean, that's amazing to see this vital, active, hyper woman be reduced to this. I mean, I'm so grateful that she still has all her marbles, thank goodness, and she's still here with us. But I don't want to be dependent on a walker when I'm her age. You know, my dad, when I was a little girl, said to me, "You will never see me in a walker or a cane or in a wheelchair. I will die before you see me like this. I'm always going to be dad to you." And when he said that when I was a little girl, it upset me very deeply because I thought it meant that he didn't trust me to love him enough to help him. And I felt bad when he said that. But when I got older, I realized it wasn't about me. It was about him. It was about how he chose to live his life. he always exercised. He always watched his weight. In fact, my dad was an engineer, so he made his own weights with some tool and die machines at his job. And he made a set for me. He made a set for my mom. Well, my mom was born in 1928, and so her heyday was like in the 50s. And my mom was always trim, and that kind of was a double-edged sword because in her generation, you don't exercise unless you're fat, unless you have to. Women that are naturally slender don't have to sweat and exercise. And that's just her mindset. And my dad kept trying to reason with her. I have kind of fun memories of all the exercise equipment he was always buying that we actually used because my mom just didn't do it. I mean, she's not a lazy person. She's working all the time and doing stuff, but it's just her mindset. Only fat people need to exercise. Um, Not true. I read somewhere that you lose 3% of your bone and muscle every year after 50 that you don't exercise with weights, weight bearing exercise. And I talked to so many women about, exercise because I was going to the gym for a year before all my surgeries and I didn't lose a pound. I mean, that's depressing, but I got a lot of good benefits from it. I'm never going to say it's a waste. But in my conversation with other women, um, they all said the same thing. I don't have time to go to the gym, and I really don't need to because I'm active all the time. I'm always doing something. I work, I do this, I do that. Well, according to my doctor, that's not exercise. That's normal life. He said, well, yeah, I mean, you're not in a nursing home. So, of course, you're going to be driving to the store and walking around the grocery store and picking up your kids from school and taking your mom to her doctor's appointment and running up the stairs doing laundry and standing at the stove cooking and doing dishes. I mean, that's normal life. That's not exercise. Um, that's a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone like me. I take care of two disabled people, my mom and my daughter, who's autistic, and that's a lot of work. It is. Somebody always needs to go somewhere, and then I have my own health issues, which usually I ignore, which is wrong. I'm going to stop doing that. But, you know, I think my doctor's right. That doesn't count. That's just normal life. Normal life is an exercise. I mean, I see what it did to my mom. It's kind of funny because it's like she's a perfect example of this. She was a librarian and she was always up and down the steps getting research books and putting books away and helping people. She's a research librarian, helping people look stuff up and down the stairs all day, just constantly. So her legs are like solid and they're still pretty strong, which is thank goodness because she can still walk with a walker. But her legs are like, or her arms are like little toothpicks because she didn't exercise. She didn't lift weights with her arms. I mean, walking and step climbing is a weight bearing exercise. So she didn't lose a lot of bone and muscle from the waist down because she was, I mean, that can be pretty active if you're at work going up and down steps all day, literally. So, her arms are like little toothpicks, and I call her a T-Rex because she's like, she can't move very much. So, I mean, she has a good sense of humor. We tease each other, but I don't want that. So, being up close and personal with what happens when you don't exercise and keep yourself strong, it's not for me. I mean, I just have to change that mindset. First of all, I am overweight, so I know I need to exercise. But even when I reach my goal weight, I still plan to continue to work out at the gym just as hard as I can. I mean, of course, as I get older, I'll slow down. But I want to be like my dad. My dad died at, I think it was 85, 84, 85 of cancer. And when he died, he kept his word. He didn't have a diaper, he didn't have a walker, he didn't have a cane, he didn't have a wheelchair. In fact, he drove to the store the week before. I mean, he was always driving, but the week before he died, he drove to the store and got some groceries. And he was in his right mind, too. And he was pretty healthy. I mean, his doctor told me when he died that if he wouldn't have got the cancer, he might have lived to be 100 because he was on no medication, no high blood pressure, no high blood sugar, no high cholesterol, no acid reflux, healthy weight, vigorous, active, in good shape. His heart and lungs were strong. So that's an inspiration for me. And um, it's important. So I'm not going to the gym, and I'm not mentioning gym because I'm on medical restrictions. And this surgery was way too painful for me to risk messing it up. But believe me, I'll be hitting the gym soon enough. Okay, as I said, I had no weight loss this week and no pound of weight gain. So I'm kind of depressed. That's why I put on a little makeup today. I tried to do a little bit better with my appearance because, as I said in many videos, when you're overweight, it's very easy to look sloppy. So we have to take extra pains with our appearance, I think. And my arms finally a little better that I could put on some eye makeup. I mean, it was painful because I had from the elbow down, but I was able to do it. So I'm pretty happy and excited about that. So I had someone take me to the store today, and I convinced them to stop at the buffet. So what I got was some crab legs. It's a little bowl of butter. I really tried to go easy on the butter, but that was 1 pound of crab legs measured. And that's all I had with water for breakfast. It's not that expensive. It's like at this place, it's with the buffet, you get the crab legs 1 pound for $7.99. So the person I was with got the buffet, and I asked if I could get the crab legs separately without the buffet, and they said yes, which I thought was nice. So usually it's not that cheap because this is the frugal channel. I'm pretty frugal. If she would have said no, I wouldn't have got the buffet and the crab legs. That's just too much. And then for lunch, I went to my favorite Middle Eastern store. So good. And I got I got 6 falafels. I already ate one. And I had it with the hummus. And in that jar I try to stay away from fruit juice because it's like really high in carbs and really high in natural sugars. And it has the fruit juice concentrate and other high sugar fruits in it. But I always read that berries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries are the lowest in sugar fruits. So my daughter found some freshly cold pressed blackberry juice. So I had a little bit because it wasn't from concentrate, it didn't have other grape juice and things in it. It was fresh pressed blackberry juice, and it was surprisingly sweet because blackberries aren't always sweet. But I thought, let myself have a little treat. I know that is so high in sugar and carbs, but I didn't buy it. She did, and she wanted to share a little treat with me, so she thought carefully about it, and I didn't want to be ingrate. So then I had, because carbs affect me. Then I had some sugar-free gummy bears, 1 serving. I carefully counted out 1 serving. And then for dinner, I had just an Atkins bar and some 8 ounces of milk, skim milk. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a little carby, I will admit, but it wasn't too bad. especially considered how I was feeling. So I'm going to try to do even better tomorrow. So I hope all of you are doing well. Bye.